Greetings and welcome to the Stop Click. I am M.J. Jackson, and with me always is...
Matt.
Thank you, Raven.
Matt.
Yeah?
Raven's not going to be here tonight.
Well, what should we do?
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Matt.
What are we going to do?
Matt, it's Wrestlemania Day. Raven can't be here, so I'm coming for you, Raven Reyes. It's going to be the Farmer Frickus in Frisco. We're going to go down. We're going to go up. I'm going to take you up here, and then I'm going to put you down here. And I'm going to put you around here. And I'm going to walk you over here. Oh, yeah, brother. It's coming for you. It's coming for you. It's coming for all of you.
Are you done yet?
Can I get just one more?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, brother.
All right, I am done.
All right, fair enough. With me as always, just this time, is Andrew Farmer. He's with us in soul always. However, our producer of the show, Andrew, is going to fill in for Raven Reyes because he's having a loving, bonding moment watching WrestleMania.
With his family.
With his family. I'm not joking. That's great. It's the greatest thing in the world.
Raven.
But family first.
Family first. That's what we always say here at the Stop Click.
That's what we say. We never say that. The guy on my Facebook page says it every single day. I have no idea. I don't know who he is, really.
He's just a guy.
Somebody I have as a friend. I don't recall when I've met him, but he says that every single day. Family first.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, today's Stop Click episode, brought to you by Roll to Play in beautiful Coppell, Texas, land of the free, home of the brave.
It is. Thank you for filling in.
Is we're just gonna do a little Q&A today. We're gonna talk about. You kind of are a new player to
Totally.
Heroclix. I mean, you played years ago,
Right.
but everything changed since then.
Totally changed.
So you obviously have some perceptions about how the game has changed. We played a game about a month ago. We found some time to sit down and play a game, and you got some new experiences.
Totally new. See, all of my experiences since it first came out, because I played it when it first came out.
Yeah.
Have been sitting behind the camera recording this show.
Oh, fair enough.
So it's very top level for me. I'm literally just reciting things. Like whenever anybody asks me that I hear you guys say that I have no idea what it means.
Like Super Scroll Meta Kyle Rayner.
Pop your improv on his defense skills and then shoot your rocket.
Yeah.
Like it's just stuff. So we thought we would take this opportunity to hopefully inform some new players and let you know it's not as overwhelming as it might seem.
Yeah, there you go. Overwhelming. I don't think it's okay. I'll admit when I did the trial by fire learning Heroclix, and I've only been playing it for about a year and a half. And getting into the game, having never played before, I didn't learn things the wrong way because I know a lot of players returning try to apply old mechanics back to the new game, and a lot of things are not really quite the same. I mean, the general basics, moving and attacking, damage is all fine. But there's a lot of new colors on the dial.
There's cards.
There's cards now.
There's cards.
There's cards. There's no slider up and down for soaring and anything. Which, by the way, I'm actually really glad. They have done a great job at simplifying the game as far as the things that were confusing.
Right.
And then, like I said, I didn't actually know this, but they've added like new powers recently. Sidestep, which I've used the entire time I've played, is actually a new power. It got put in like 6 months before I started again.
Wow.
So like it really is a very new area, like 2 years or less. And along with that, another pink colored power was M power, which is sitting next to a person making a close combat attack +1 damage to that.
Okay.
So that was a new power. And then I think Precision Strike might have been a new power as well. I'm not, like I said, I know there's at least 2 of those were brand new powers. Right. So they've added something to the game that, and I didn't actually realize it until playing like Incredible Hulk. When I'm like, nobody in this entire set has sidestep. Like, nobody has it. Like, we're playing Incredible Hulk.
It's not there.
It's not there. Everything has charge and super strength. And then, obviously, super strength, everybody, one of the biggest criticisms right when I started playing was, it's weak. Super strength is it's a one-time power, it's +2 damage on your Alpha Strike, and it's underwhelming comparative to all the things you can reuse and reuse and reuse. Right. So they changed it to say, well, now you can carry an ultra heavy without any additional cost. It used to cost, the tank turret was 2 points added to your force. Okay. And that was a physical object, kind of hard to obtain. And you had to pay for it. You had to pay extra points to have an ultra heavy on your force. So they finally said, you know what, super strength is a little underpowered. So if your points are above 100 on that character, they can carry an ultra heavy. Okay. So like things like that changed to gradually shift power sets just in the slightest way to give you a little bit more of an advantage. But,
so I have some questions.
Sure.
as a new player.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that you can help me out.
I will do my best.
Because sitting on the other side of that camera, I hear a lot of things that are intimidating. For somebody that would like come into a store and just want to buy like a booster and then just like, okay, I can play now.
Yeah.
Like, do I need to play the meta? Because
No.
we talk about playing the meta a lot on the
We
show.
do talk about playing the meta.
Do I have to play the meta
No.
to play the game?
No, and I'll be honest. There's two kind of areas of thought. Obviously, with most like Magic the Gathering, you have Heroclix. You can play a meta game, and you can play fun games. You can play theme games. You can play just interesting games. I am a huge fan of the Authority. I love the Authority, and other than the Engineer, probably not going to see a lot of meta play. Running the Apollo and Midnighter just for the sake of running Apollo and Midnighter and Jenny Sparks as your team feels it
feels good.
It feels good. You're happy about it. And then on the other side of that, running the Trinity War, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, like running them all at their full point value and really getting some work done with them can kind of feel really cool. But that's not a meta thing you're going to see often. Obviously, with the first half of the ROC, before April, we had no tactics. So there was no advantage to playing theme at all, which basically means play the best of the best pieces, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
And that's when you see Kyle Rayner, that's when you see Super Scroll, that's when you see all of those things come out and get crazy. Now, I will say this. What's very interesting is that the second half of the ROC after April, you're probably going to see Super Scroll disappear.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason is that if you play Super Scroll and go up against the person playing the green battery, which you're going to see the new batteries. The battery's emotional spectrum trait says you can only do one free action per character. Unfortunately, Super Scroll's choosing of his own traits is a free action. So if he says choose my powers, the top dial pretty much can't be hypersonic, because then he would need to do a free action to attack. Can't be charged, because he has to do a free action to attack, or running shot. So he's not doing any of those things if he picks powers. Just not being able to pick powers and do something useful with them kind of changes the way he goes. So you're going to see Super Scroll probably just disappear completely from sight. At least the probability of seeing a green battery in a tournament is so high, even compared to the other batteries, because it bestows the wielder of a construct willpower. Okay. But that's meta. Like I said, we're talking.
Like, can I just play a fun team? And be viable.
Oh no, yes, okay. And I'll be honest. I think the fun teams, they've kind of stepped up their game a little bit. Like the Authority is a great team to run. It's super fun. Midnight or Apollo, really they get work done. They're not ultra competitive, but it really depends on the people you end up playing. If you play against some people trying to run, like my Harley Quinn, Batmite, Super Scroll thing, you're probably going to have a hard time. You're not going to see. You're not going to see. You don't want to play against that over and over again. Even then, the best part about Heroclix is a new game begins every 15 minutes, or 20. You can play. You can say, hey, I'd like to see how this team fares against a high-level meta team, and you might get trounced by it. You might pull off a lucky win, but afterwards, we can play anything else. We can play Trinity. We can play the Sins from the new Trinity War set. We can play the Trinity. We can play CSA, one of my new favorite goofy teams. None of the guys are really stellar.
Yeah.
But the trait where they basically all have prob, as long as you're willing to give an action token to any friendly character. Not the guy doing the prob. But any friendly character.
Because they're jerks.
Because they're jerks, yeah. So you just have a guy in the back just getting all these action tokens and clearing every turn. And it's brilliant. And I love running that team. Do I think any of them will show up in high-level meta? Probably not. Even though we did have a gentleman running the Firestorm, only because it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. When a team full of range attackers can't touch Firestorm. You gotta come up to me and hit me. And they didn't want to do that because they would lose. They just sat there going, I don't want to do that. But you see that.
Yeah. So I'm a new player.
Yes.
And I know we've talked about HC Realms.
Yeah.
What resources do I have to start playing?
Okay, well, to start playing, most of the time, if you go into a store, you're going to want somebody who's already played the game before. Two people trying to learn the game is it happens,
right.
But it is kind of trial by fire, because a lot of things, while the rules to become more comprehensive and less situational per like what happens in this one really crazy instance where this happens and this happens and this happens, and there's no clear way to figure out what's supposed to happen. The game is very much shifted away from that until you get back to high level meta.
Right.
So what you'll see is new players usually start off with what's called the Fast Forces set.
Okay.
The Fast Forces set allows a player usually a sort of gambit of a certain theme. This Trinity Wars Fast Forces was CSA. Okay. Now, they're not the same figures as in the boosters.
Okay.
They're actually different dials. Now, are they compatible and you can play this one and this one, this one, this one? Yes. And then before that was Rogues.
Yeah, because it was Flash Rogues.
Flash Rogues. And then before that, I want to say Inhumans. And I'll be honest, the 25-point Inhumans Lockjaw was one of the best pieces I'd seen in a really long time out of a Fast Forces set. Not great enough to be meta, but where I actually had to look and go, that's way better than I thought it was. And that's I had not considered it until I'd seen it.
Right.
So, most of the time I stay away from Fast Forces because I don't need any new maps or anything like that. But the best way to get started, back into it, is to go to an event. And the best reason is that there's a lot of events that have the OP kits that the stores buy. And they instantly, for just entering the tournament, sometimes it's even cheaper than buying boosters off the shelf. A lot of places it's like that. Yeah. And comes with a map and prizes. And Heroclix being a community, one of my favorite parts of it is the fellowship rule.
Okay.
And some places, if it's constructed, the people will sort of vote on the most creative team or the most unusual team to receive the other prize. A judge gets one. First place gets one, second place sometimes gets one, and then fellowship. Usually it's first in fellowship is what you see. Judge, first in fellowship. That's what an OP kit usually contains. Three figures.
Now, what does OP kit stand for?
Organized Play Kit.
Okay, so it's a kit that
stores purposefully buy
to
drive sometimes sales. Like I said, obviously they kind of go hand in hand.
That's the end game.
It tries to. But obviously, if I'm saying, hey, Trinity War sealed, buy boosters for a discounted rate. Buy boosters, play. Get a map, get OP chances at prizes, right. And then and then also a lot of times OP kits have participation prizes as well. Literally just showing up, you get something. I'm not saying all of them do, but quite a few of them. Right. The War of Light stuff was very much like that. The War of Light, most places ran War of Light. $25 to $30 for entry for 2 boosters, which which is 25 is actually a little under MSRP and 30 is just a little bit over, but the OP kits for War of Light were considerably expensive.
Right.
And then everybody got the Green Lantern of the month. Right. Jade or Kyle Rayner, our favorite participation piece ever. Guy Gardner, which hits like a truck. All viable pieces, pieces you really felt were just solid pieces. And then usually somebody from another, the prize was Atrocitus, let's see here, Archillo, basically all the main little guys. They couldn't really fit into the set. What's the Orange Lantern one? I can't think of his name. Larfleeze. There you go, Larfleeze. Larfleeze was one of them. And actually funny, and the Larfleeze was the only one, there wasn't one, or even something that said Archillo was the only one that set. Atrocitus was the only one. There was no way to get those other than by winning. Now, some people go, well, that's a little bit unfair, but not really. Like I said, they're not must-have pieces usually. The participation, Kyle Rayner blows every single one out of the water, and it's participation, thankfully. Nobody really likes it when OP kit prizes are must-have pieces. It kind of creates a secondary market that gets kind of competitive, and then people get a little angry. But once again, you don't have to worry about it. But simply showing up, playing a sealed event, everything is equal. What you pull and what you play are just as important as what your opponent pulls and plays. And it's not about the rares a lot of times. People get kind of caught up in playing the rare piece. Everybody.
Some people, Matt.
Some people. But you know what though? Like for example, one of my favorite pieces of the Trinity War set in sealed is Ultraman, because Ultraman is a Superman analog and hits like a truck. And the thing is, a lot of times they're just like, Ultraman and a guy to put action tokens on. I'll handle this. Yeah. He's got the CSA ability. He just runs around smashing everybody for super strength and ultra heavy. He's just tearing through people, and it's completely valid to play that way. Now, granted, there are a few bombs in the set, and you always got to be weary. For example, I saw someone pull a Martian Manhunter, And the Martian Manhunter, if played in the hands of an experienced player, can be just impossible to kill with your force. And that's a weird thing to say, but he's got traded stealth and traded shape change. And he's got prob and a 19 defense. And you're like, okay, so I can't shoot him from range because unfortunately, none of my characters can see through stealth, so that kind of sucks. And then none of my characters can reach him in a turn because he keeps hypersonically hitting him and running back to stealth. And it's just, you find yourself going, I have to hope for a miracle here. And that happens. Bad rolls. You know, that happens. And I'm saying that's kind of a bad situation to be in sometimes, but occasionally their juju better than your juju.
And that's the thing about, like, the one game that I played in the past 15 years was I think we played two, actually.
But
I won one against you.
You did, yes.
And it was and that's the thing I want to make very clear, is that Matt is a very experienced Heroclix player.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, he's sitting here, he's doing the show every week, he's here, he's teaching people to play.
Always happy to teach people to play.
And that's another thing, too, is most of your stores are going to have people
that are happy to teach somebody brand new, And usually, like guys like me have a box full of figures we are happy to give you because we only need one of every common or uncommon or rare, and we have 8, and we're like, please take them, please just take
take them away.
You know, clean my house out a little bit, have us start your collection, and that's great. And then,
but what I was going to say was the luck of the roll is very prevalent in Heroclix.
Yeah,
like, you can win against
you don't know. And the thing is, not even the luck of the roll sometimes just taking the situation for what it is. I noticed Doug's wife. I played one game against Doug's wife.
She's smart, though.
She's a very intelligent
Doug,
lady.
as you know from the last
episode,
the master of the White Rabbit, the McConaughey of the White Rabbit.
There you are. His wife knows how to play and played a game against me. And the thing is, this was the game where I said, hey, this week, it's fun things. Bring anything you want. Bring team bases. Bring colossals. Bring anything you want. And she brings a very sort of vanilla team. It's Destiny, Brother Voodoo. I mean, good pieces, because she knew they were good pieces.
Right.
But nothing extraordinary. And she demolishes me. I'm playing 300-point X-Men Blue team base, full one, 300-point X-Men Gold team base, 600-point games. And I am getting trounced. And I'm like, I have made a mistake. I have truly and honestly just thrown this game. And she does things like mind controls the bishop I had sent on solo adventure to bash my own team base, and just things start going incredibly poorly, incredibly fast.
I regret everything.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought, fun week would be great, and I was like, man, I'm not really doing very well here. So, I mean, but the thing is, my favorite thing to do when people are new to the game is play some teams that I know are fairly balanced and either one can take.
And that's what you did with me.
Yes,
here's the X-Men
we played AVX. We played True On AVX. Said, here are the Avengers that came with a set. Here are the X-Men that came with a set. And pick your 300 points. We'll play. And we played straight up AVX. And I even got the Alpha Strike in. I thought I would teach you a lesson that game by like, listen, you overextended. My Thor's going to run in there, smash you down. Like, I know exactly. The thing is, that was experience going, I know how many clicks that guy has.
If you're out there and you love comic books, believe in your love of comic books because they can win.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, nobody takes Cap with an Alpha Strike.
Oh, no.
Check.
Hiding,
punching, punching people in buildings.
And I threw the game, too. Like I said, I did all sorts of terrible things that game. But I got the Alpha Strike in one-shotting a character. And I'm like, see, that's one thing you got to learn. I condescendingly told him that, listen, I know that's a hard lesson to learn there, man. And I proceed to lose this game. I proceed to completely and totally botch this game, mostly due to Cap's incredibly long dial, and just I couldn't kill Captain America.
Like, I demurred to you. I'm like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will learn from the altar. I will bow at the altar. I will wait the 6 months in the snow.
No.
And then I'm like, wait, Cap can do this?
Yes.
And you're like,
well, yeah, because there's certain things you forget, like Captain America can ignore characters for movement. You're like, oh, right, so you're not based anymore. Oh, no, and then, Cap
up the wall, like around the corner.
Cap runs and starts smashing people in the face. You're like, I may have made a mistake.
And I think that's... Here's the thing, like, you watch a show, and it's like any game.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch it from the high level, like, the people that play at the high level find the high level really fun.
Yeah.
Like the meta, the nuts and bolts. The The Bobby Fischer stuff.
Yes. John Key's going, Kumite! That's them.
Like,
you have that guy. You have those guys.
Like, you're always thinking like 12 moves ahead and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just a fun game to play.
It is incredibly fun. And I really hope that a lot of people kind of, sometimes you lose the forest for the trees and going, it is a really fun game to play. Yeah, we play meta, but like I said, for example, me and Raven practiced for weeks playing the meta, practicing against teams we knew we would see at the ROC. Practice. But we played, I don't know, probably 20 hours of actual Heroclix. And literally, the second the game was over, we just concede and start again. Like, just, okay, yep, you got the hit. There's no chance of coming back, so we go ahead and concede and try it again. Right. And we tried the same setup again, roll for map, try to change maps out, see what we figured as being useful for this matchup when we hit it. And after that, we were so sick of it. We were like, all right, what goofy crap count in Trinity War? What am I gonna run? I'm gonna run some Sins and the Doctor from Authority. That's my team. Woo! Wrath, Lust, and the Doctor. That's my 300-point team.
See, so it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And a lot of times, a chase doesn't mean you've lost, and a prime doesn't mean you won, and a prime doesn't mean you won. And there's a lot of pieces that in the regular game doesn't. I mean, you can lose to commons and uncommons. I nearly lost a lot of my first round of the ROC, not having seen a team, the Yondu team, and just barely pulled it out on map rolls and time getting called right after a certain action. I'm like, man, that was perfect. I literally killed that character, went to 209 points. His turn would start. He was gonna running shot pulse wave, kill my super scroll, and he would have won. And that's that. You're done. That was the last action. Yeah. And I'm like, oh well. Yay! I did it! Hooray! The thing is, and I deserve to lose that game. And the thing is, I looked at the team, and Yondu is an uncommon, and Mantis, I think, is an uncommon as well. Right. And Engineer, you're like, okay, Engineer's good. But you're just like, and then there's Weasel, which is a common from Deadpool, and you're just like, I really don't know what this team, like, that commonality symbol, the rarity symbol, means nothing when it comes to how bad you can lose a game. Right. Like, do not underestimate. And the CSA proved that really, really, really well. Like, Power Ring, as a character, he's a rare, he's okay. You're like, really? He's a bad Green Lantern. But then you start kind of playing him, and you're like, this is way better than I thought it was. He's really efficient for 70 points. Right. He got a lot done. He's got Pulse Wave a couple of times throughout there, and he's got Running Shot on that dial. And then all of a sudden, that 70-point figure takes out a 150-point figure, and you're just ahead. And that's
value added.
Value added, and that is the great thing. So even when you see people with collections like I do, and I'm an obsessive collector, I collect chases like crazy. I've got all the Phoenix 5 chases from Wolverine the X-Men. I've got all the Invincible Iron Man chases. I've got 6 of the 7 Trinity War. I mean, I obsessively collect pieces, and even then, a lot of times those are not characters I run because they're not either they're not fun. I mean, it's not the zombies were the characters I thought were probably the least amount of fun to play against, mostly because without some kind of special setup, it's hard. Right. It's not the easy. Like Electro, burns you down with penetrating psychic blast. You get a token, and he gets a food token. And if you didn't have any way to kind of push him or pulse wave him or incap him or any way to subvert the zombie tokens, you were fighting an uphill battle that just wasn't going to be won. Doom is another one. Doom, in sealed, literally ran up to me and went pulse wave, boom, hit 4 guys, 4 food tokens on Doom. All of my guys were off their top click. I'm like,
what just happened?
The thing is, and I'm like, and all of my guys have a virus token now, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna lose this one. Like, I don't know how fast I can burn Doom down, but it's significantly bad, And sometimes that happens, especially in Sealed. Sealed does have a little bit of tilt. Like I said, a Martian Manhunter without the proper preparations to deal with Martian Manhunter, it doesn't matter what 300-point team you decided to play, you're done. And that's okay. That's okay, because you could have pulled the Martian Manhunter as well, and they could have an answer. They could have pulled the Superman, which the Superman team ability can always see through stealth, so I don't care about your stealth. I'm going to come hit you. All that's perfectly fine. So, for new players, it's a great community. Like I said, I can't think of a community I like better than Heroclix. And I love playing Magic the Gathering. I still play Magic the Gathering, but it doesn't have the same feel. I have met people my first week coming back and playing Magic after 10 years. I met 3 people I would never want to associate with ever again in my life.
Right.
And I'm like, I have never met a person like that playing
Heroclix.
Heroclix at all. I've gone from store to store. There's just so many people that are just so great about it, and everybody's happy to teach new people. I really can't say enough about that. So, yeah, what other questions do you have?
I mean, that's about it. We're about out of time. Good job. My questions got answered.
There you go.
Like, I feel good.
There you go.
But
I feel good too.
We feel good.
I feel good. So good.
So good.
Right.
I wanted to thank Matt and Raven for letting me come out from behind the camera and actually
There you
sit
go.
out here.
Well, a pretty face goes a long way. We're gonna get those lady viewers in here. Oh, look at that.
Constantine's in the hand.
There you go. Yeah, your Constantine love of roleplay. Yes.
Yes. So you want to wrap us up?
Yes. Thank you for watching the Stop Click. This is Matt Jackson. With me is Andrew Farmer, our lovely producer, and Raven will be back next week. We love you, Raven. WrestleMania.
Stop Click. This thing, Raven.